welcome to Dog and a Tank Radio. Oops, well, not radio. Dog and a Tank Comics live stream. My bad. Oh well, we'll live. This is to continue off where I left from the last Q&A live stream. One of the last question I got was regarding like sound effects in general. I try to add sound effects where I think it will be the most impactful to kind of pull the scene together. So, that is basically what I try to do. That's why, well, I've since finished that page, so that's not up here right now. But that's why I put in, the thing there, sound effects. Okay, does it sound a little bit better? I will work with it. I will work with it. So yeah, feel free to comment below any questions you have about my work, and just have a bit of fun with it. I'm gonna see if I can wrap up this page. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it today, but we shall see what happens. And what layer am I looking for? Hello, there we go. So yeah, feel free to comment down below, ask questions on, um, what you see on the screen. There is a slight lag. It's actually a little bit better today. Yep, it's a bit better today. There we go. Okay, that's for back there. Hello. There we go. And I guess this can just be kind of a quiet live stream. I'm fine with that. So, or I can just sit here and talk, whichever I feel like. I suppose. Let's see. In general, I usually do not do comics this way. I think I may have made a comment about this on my previous live stream. I'll go ahead and comment on this again. But this art style for Grieving Princess it's different from what I usually do. I usually have a more line art heavy art style, but I wanted to go away from that for this because I for the most part I actually love doing line art. I just want something that looked a little different because I don't want them. I don't. Whenever it's set put next to the other stuff, I don't want it to be so similar and that it's boring. You know. So that is something I've thought about a lot, and that's part of my chain of thought in this is to have something that's just a bit different. I actually have some other stuff that I am working on, and that's still up in the air. At least that's where I consider it until I can actually get around to working on it. So we will see where I go with that. I just want to focus on what I'm currently focused on, because otherwise, nothing ever seems to get done whenever I don't focus. I actually started to work on something else, and then I went over and I was like, no, let's work on this. The iron is hot, let's work on it. So that's part of why I'm now working on Grieving Princess rather than that other thing I was working on. And I suppose it doesn't sound like a very good work ethic, but I am a person that I function better whenever I work with what I'm focused on at the moment. Like if I'm developing it, then that's easier for me to just jump right into on the art end of things than it is for me to just really, I can exercise restraint. I exercise restraint pretty much my entire time doing comments. Oh, hello. Thank you. Yeah, I know. I apologize for that. I'm sorry. I've been busy. Sorry about the delay. Why are you live? Yeah, I know. Nobody's watching me. Hey, I gotta try. If I don't try, nobody can do this for me, so... Yeah. I gotta be live for myself. I'm trying to get out there. I'm trying to get my work, out there for people to see. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I have a project I'm working on. So that's why I am live. I'm just trying to get out there. Trying to get fresh eyes on my stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So I will give this a minute since I know there is a lag. And I'm so sorry for not seeing that sooner. No. No, I am not. Do I sound like it? I'll give that a minute. I am kind of curious about that last question of you from India. So I'm very curious to see your response to that. So go ahead. Let me know why. I'm very curious. Oh. That is the first time I have been told that I sound like an Australian, but, cool. I will take that as, I don't know, a compliment, but sort of in that line, so cool. I'm not comfortable about saying where I actually am, so I apologize if I don't. I will say I am from the States. I will leave it at that. So, thank you. Let me take a moment to refresh this. Okay. wait. I'll wait for the lag to catch up. Give me a moment. Okay, I am from the States. I don't want to really say more than that, but I am from the United States. If I can see what I'm doing here. I am from the States. Oh, I have my reasons why I don't particularly want to show my face. That, and I find comics more interesting than my face. That is why. I'm also not set up for it. I believe I just lost. Well, that's fine. Either the Wi-Fi's wonky. Ah, can you tell me some interesting thing? Well, I suppose that heavily depends on what your idea of interesting is. If it's comics, then I'm down for that. I don't really do much more than that. After all, this is a comics live stream. So let's see. Well, for I guess a little fun fact here, if I can think of one. Let me switch pages. Okay. Well, the two characters on this page are the Green and pink is Lacrimosa, and the purple dude is Concord. They're characters from my comic that I'm working on. I still need to figure out what I want to do with the background here, down here. Yeah. Why you read comics in this time? Nobody read comics. I don't know. I apologize if I don't quite get what that last comment is. I don't so much read comics as I make comics. And there are people out there that do enjoy them. So I guess, my work is for myself and for anyone who might enjoy it. That is the way I look at it. Because if you don't make something, if you want a story out there that, you haven't seen anybody else make, then you gotta make it yourself. That's the way I look at it. I have stories I want to tell, I have characters I want to draw, and I'm here to draw and write them. You read Marvel comics. Now there's Marvel, there's DC, but they don't have the stories I want, so therefore I want to make my own comics. Let's see. Let me refresh this. Okay. I'm just trying to keep up with the chat now that I know somebody's in there, so I'm trying to refresh it a bit more so I know that what you're commenting, so I can read it. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Every little bit helps. That is what I believe in. Thank you very much. Sunshine. Go up here. Turn off that layer. Okay. I don't quite understand that last comment. Would you like to clarify, please? Oh, I apologize for the black screen you'll probably see here in a moment. Since I'm looking at it, you're going to see it. I apologize. Yep, and there we go. Uh, your Insta ID, Instagram. Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Victoria Thoroughman. I'm also on Twitter at Dog in the Tank Comics. If you would like to pop over there, I post more on Twitter than I do on Instagram. I think I just sort of like Twitter a little bit better for that because Twitter's easier to post on than Instagram. Because with Instagram, it seems like you always have to have a picture or something, and I don't always have a picture. I usually just have a link. So yeah, go check me out over there because I post sort of frequently over there. I only post mostly if I have something. Let's see. I think I can just pop up here, get to layer. I would prefer not to disclose certain information, so I apologize if I will kindly not reply to that one. That's a bit personal, you know? And I would like to keep this on a more professional level. And I am watching a chat. I would like you to kind of direct more of the questions towards comics and stuff. I'm fine with answering other things. Just don't ask stuff that's a little too personal, you know? I mean, I suppose there are people out there that would probably gladly spill certain beans, but alas, I am not one of those. Oh, goodbye. Thank you for your time and thank you for subscribing. Well, unfortunately, comics are rather boring, and my focus is I'm multitasking here a bit, so well, I guess I could dive into what kind of story this is that I'm working on. Basically, the story is about an elven princess who she kind of basically, her family basically gets killed, and it's been like a 6 year time gap between now and then, and now she's kind of coming back, and she's realizing what the situation is and decides to get involved again. Yeah, my streams are boring. I apologize for that. So that's basically kind of the loose story thing. A bunch of stuff happens. There's a lot more I could say on it. Just I don't want to spill too much before I actually can get like the first 20 pages out there. So yeah. And of course, our elven princess here is Lacrimosa. She is of the Mothia Kingdom in the story, and it's basically a fantasy world of elves and stuff. So that's the sort of world it is. I may have other mythical things. I do plan on having other mythical creatures. There we go. I apologize for that hiccup there. I do plan on having other mythical creatures. Because there's a lot there to dive into. There's some I haven't even seen in anything recently. It's like people get their favorites when they're writing. And there we go. And then you never get to see like others that could be really interesting if brought in. I mean, elves are pretty mainstream, and there's nothing wrong with it being mainstream. It's just I wanted to see if I could put my own spin on it and, you know, see what I could do. So yeah, there's a lot on that. I actually started trying to do research on some different fantasy and mythological creatures because I would like to try to have a decent variety. I don't want to go nuts with it. I don't want to go nuts because I feel like it'd be very easy to go nuts. But if I can find, there we go. But I would like to have a nice variety of fantasy characters. I actually have in mind for a dragon type characters because of course it's not a fantasy. It's not a fantasy thing if you don't have some sort of dragon. I actually have plans for a lot of different dragons. Well, not a lot, but at least a few key ones. So, I think I am fine with spilling the beans on Ruby because she is technically a dragon shifter. I haven't gotten around to drawing her yet, but I am eager to, no, I apologize. I'm kind of hit and miss on having, I guess, a live stream schedule, mostly because I live stream when I can. So probably not. I would have to get really lucky with things happening, being able to get around and do it. So probably not. I would like to, I guess, try a live stream maybe once a week if I can, And there may be times that I just do a like silent live stream where it's just me working on the comic, or I just Bob Ross it, as in I'm here whispering into the microphone because I'm trying to keep my voice down quiet. So that is a big, most likely no. I can't really, I mean, live streaming would be good if I could do it more often, but I can't. So, hang in there and I'll probably be back eventually. So I used the wrong color. There we go. So we shall see. I doubt it, but yeah. You will know, of course. Now that you're subscribed, you will know when I live stream, so. And I apologize for how messy these trees are. I'm multitasking. I will probably refine these later. I need a smaller thing. There we go. So yeah. Let me refresh this real quick. So yeah. There is that. Come on. Here we go. This thing does not like to cooperate. There we go. I shall go in and tidy this mess up because I am indeed making a mess out of this background. Oh well. Not a good thing, but that is why we have these lovely editing things. As I hit the wrong layer. There we go. So yeah. Let me tell you that up. So yeah. Carve this back a bit because there we go. Probably will that look fine if I put that above. Okay. Yeah, that will be fine if I put that above that. That's good. I apologize if I'm going quiet again. I get focused in here, and so you get artistic mumbling instead of anything particularly of interest. Because it's easier to artistic mumble than it is to talk whenever I'm working. I shall. There we go. This is mostly just the flats for the background because I plan on going in and refining this a little bit more. There we go. Refining it more. And the reason you see me keep searching for the right layer here is because there are a lot of them. Once again, this is sort of a new art style for me, even though I've been using it for like the past month or so. It just calls for so many more layers. I'm sort of a layer minimalist, so I'm more apt to messing up. There we go. I am kind of going for like that classic older cartoon look with like the painted backgrounds, and I'm probably failing at it, but I want to try anyway because you never know. It's a thing of simply trying to do it. I'm getting that experience to hopefully get something a product close to what I'm going for. If I can tie that up. I really like a lot of the older cartoons, 80s. The Gargoyles was really cool. I mean, that has one of the best, at least the first two seasons. I've heard that the third season of Gargoyles did not go over very well. It went over sort of like a lead balloon. But yeah. I actually, one point, whenever I was trying to get my stuff out there, and I was trying to just troll through social media and trying to show it to people, someone told me that it did look, and this was way back, this is for part of the comic back for when I really started, and not this series, it was Phantom Eclipse, and someone did tell me that it was sort of older looking than for their taste. I'm guessing by their taste they probably meant that they liked newer stuff, which is fine. And of course I like older stuff. So I feel like my style and what I go for is it's going to appeal to a certain audience, you know, which it can't be helped. You're going to have that happen and it can't be helped. It will be fine. It will be fine. And that is one thing I would like to encourage newcomers that want to do comics is get your work out there in front of people who are avid comic readers. I sort of struggle to do that. I used to be on Webtoons. I am no longer on Webtoons, so don't look for Phantom Eclipse on there. I bailed out of Webtoons because I worked on there for so long and I could not get really any traction. First off, I made I made mistakes. My bad. Made mistakes as a newbie on there, which I feel like is to be expected. Whenever you're new at something, you're going to make mistakes no matter how hard you try. And I made certain ones I wish I hadn't, and I also got, basically the mistake I made was I took it down, I tried to clean it up, like I barely been on there like a couple of months when I did that, which is really, I guess, stupid for me. I guess I think, well, I think I thought at the time that I was actually better than I was. I've been doing this for a couple of, you know, months. Surely I'm better than I think I am. And I was wrong, and that was a learning curve. I think I lost a few subscribers from that, but I think what really killed it was I just got downrated into oblivion. And for a time, I briefly was in some groups on YouTube, not YouTube, Facebook. So many darn things out there. But I was in some groups on Facebook for webtoons, and it just seemed like, after being downrated myself and struggling with it, that there were people out there who would get downrated and they would just immediately freak out. And I tried at one point to kindly talk to them and tell them that, if you're in like this area of a rating, like 6 to 7, not 6 to 7, 7 to 10, then you're safe. And I was trying to explain that to him, give him that as like a reference. And I think it was just that thing that, people had heard so many bad things about getting downrated that they just freaked out. And I can't really blame them to a certain degree after being downrated, because it is so frustrating. And that's why I eventually just gave up on webtoons, because webtoons is like Hollywood, okay? It's like, you get on here, you make it big, boom, you're a superstar. It doesn't work that way. If it doesn't work that way in Hollywood, it certainly does not work that way in anything else to date. And so, it was just a very stressful. First off, trying to do a webtoons is very stressful. You will see people who will be like, we did this webtoon for this amount of time and it didn't go well, and or maybe not so much it didn't go well, but like it did great, but the work hours are insane. And that's because they are insane, because you have to consistently update to really get any traction on there. And while it's good to use that to get trained to be consistent, I would say, depending on a lot of it depends heavily on your art style. First off, if you have a more detailed art style like mine, and I believe I commented previously, I'm sort of a slow drawer artist. Whenever and part of that is due to the burnout I got from trying to be on webtoons. So I used to be a lot quicker than this. Part of that is because my art style has shifted. Part of that is because I experienced too much burnout. Because I think burnout can do that to you if you experience it too many times, and it's frustrating. And the only thing you can do is just get away from what's causing you to have that burnout and build yourself back up. And even then, you're still probably going to be struggling to X degree, because in a way it can't be helped, because burnout, I think, does sort of damage you a little bit psychologically. And that sucks, because, you shouldn't be that way. But that's that sort of rampant thing that webtoons has going on, of having to constantly try to pump out. And yeah, webtoons is set up to where you are your own boss, which is great. But unfortunately, it is sort of that rat race where you feel like if you don't do it enough, and you don't put out enough stuff, and you don't get noticed, and all this stress, it eats away at you. And that's why I got away from webtoons, because 5 years, I think, I don't consider it a waste. I believe I have said that in a previous video, but I will say it here for anybody new. I don't consider it a waste, because I need the experience. I need to learn the art form of comics. But there are better ways to learn it than webtoons. That is what I would like to kindly say to people, is there are better ways to learn something. Don't make like webtoons or anything comparable to it, like you're one and only, like I gotta do this otherwise I'll never get anywhere, don't do that. It's not worth it. You know, find other ways to get out there because there's more than one way to do this. You love comics enough, you can find a different way of doing it that will work for you. And that's what I'd like to encourage to anybody who else who loves comics is, you know, don't get trapped in that rat race. Don't get tunnel vision by saying that I can only get anywhere by doing this. Find a different way that works for you. Understand what you're capable of, because that is how you will get the farthest, by knowing what you are capable of. And, you know, don't expect yourself to perform on the same level as, like, your favorite mangaka or something, because they're just on that different level, and it's wrong to expect yourself to be on that same level, because they clearly know what they're capable of to some extent. And even then, like, it's not perfect over in Japan either. And I can't seem to get this stupid thing to cooperate. I apologize. Okay. So yeah, you know, widen your viewpoint and see what it is that suits your needs if you want to do comics. And, you know, look around, look at what other people are doing and see how they're doing it, and, you know, pay attention to why it works for them. I mean, I know in indie comics, you know, crowdfunding is a big thing, and that's something I'm giving kind of a wide berth for now, because I'm just trying to get out there right now, and I would feel better if I were to do something like that I knew I had more of a following behind me. So I don't know about ever doing a crowdfunding thing. That, and I really want to try a different method. So yeah, I'm just looking to find a way that, you know, works for what I want to do. And it's what I want to do probably isn't perfect either, but, well, nothing is perfect. First off, there's that. Secondly, I'm also wanting to do it in a way that I can do it without experiencing what I did with webtoons, because I want to be able to put stuff out in a timely manner without being just absolutely and literally physically exhausted, because that's not healthy. I think I will just stick shading with that, because that in this background is sort of, I don't know about doing like a blur of any kind. I might try that. But yeah, I mean, she's supposed to be flying here, bebopping along. So yeah. and you'll probably notice that the characters have various wings. Lacrimosa has moth wings, and that's because I just think the lunar moth just has such beautiful wings. And Concord has bird wings. I think whenever I was writing, I actually specifically said like eagle wings. But I feel like bird wings can kind of. There probably are some differences that I'm not aware of, and I will live with what I work with, what I create here, because I will have to learn to just draw this consistently. So I will focus on simply keeping the characters consistent before I worry about any sort of other things. There we go. So there we go. Tidy that up. So yeah, most there will be wingless elves. They just haven't been introduced yet, but there will be. It's just I want to focus on where the story's going for first, and then worry about the rest of it, because there's a lot of stuff to do just on what I want to do with this alone. And that will be something that will just get introduced organically. So yeah, this is a fantasy world of like various elven kingdoms, and so like I said before, Concord is, well, first off, Lacrimosa again is a princess. Concord is a prince. And so, that's kind of the little bit of the focus here. They were actually like childhood friends, and then the thing happened with Lacrimosa's parents, and they haven't seen each other, and so that's why you get kind of this bottom part here, because he's just like, where are you going? You're my why are you running off? We haven't seen each other. They're good friends though. He would never hurt her. So yeah. So Lacrimosa, aside from being a princess, she's lived out in like the woods now for the past 6 years, with her father's advisor acting as kind of a parent caretaker to her, sort of an uncle figure, I guess, if you would. He will be shown later on in these first 20 some pages. I actually already did like his introduction page, because that was one I had lined out. That is a speed paint on my channel, by the way, if you would like to check that out. And I have no clue when I will actually end this live stream. Probably shortly, because I've been on here. I think I'll go ahead and let this become an hour long. So yeah. If you want to see Devio, like I said, he's in the speed paint on my channel. If you would like to go watch that after this, just so you can see his character interact with Lacrimosa a little bit. And so, yeah. I'm excited for this story. I was kicking around the idea for it last year, and I was really hesitant to do it. I believe I said that in a different video, because this kind of fantasy, I feel like, has really been done a lot. But I just decided just to heck with it, and I will simply start and see where I will go with it, because I have my own idea of how I want to handle this sort of genre. My biggest concern is it's a lot heavier world building, and I have done heavier world building writing before. It's just been a while, and I'm excited to, see where I can go with this. And one thing I guess I would like to put out there for like new writers or young writers, if you're new to writing is definitely write multiple different stories with different settings, because that is experience, and that is also a good way to compare your stories. So you can sit there and you can look at like story A, and if you've already done something before, especially if you're trying to get to a point where you can do this professionally and you can put out professional type stories, then definitely learn to do that. And experiment, have fun with it. We need to have more fun in this world, because sometimes we get caught up in all the bad things, and it'd be good just to get away from that. So yeah. I will see. I don't know about actually finishing this page this time around, but I would like to at least kind of wind it down. I might put in more trees later, so next time when you actually finally see this page in like a hard copy form, there might be some more trees. As I probably I just messed up, so I will sit here and let this grind. So yeah. And let me see, how long have we been going? Okay. So I would like to give, since we're kind of reaching the end here on this live stream, thank you so much if you hung around. I really genuinely appreciate it, because you're helping me do what I'm trying to do, and I thank you so much. So thank you to whoever is watching right now. And I will see you, I guess, next live stream. And I guess I shall call this a wrap here in a moment. So thank you so much.